And based on that, you can see, like, after 6 months, test yourself again and see where your age is. Like, for example, with Dr. Staci, who's here, do you want to share your story of your biomarkers, Staci?
Sure. I've been using this technology 15 months now, but at the 6-month mark, like Dr. Mel mentioned, our cellular age should show an 8-year reversal. And so I went to my naturopath and had my biomarkers done, and it showed actually a 17-year reversal at that 6-month mark. Now, obviously, I'm into holistic types of healing modalities and prevention and take care of myself. So I'm sure I probably was a little bit younger to begin with. But to have that massive of a difference was pretty impressive to me. But not just myself. I've seen that in my clients. I've seen that in friends of mine that are using the technology as well too. So it definitely makes a difference. The longer you use the patch, that compound effect, you really start to see all the systems for people that have issues, right? Most people have some type of pain, inflammation, some, sleep issues, or maybe mental clarity, or, energy concentration, things like that. So of course, like Mel said, the nervous system, digestive, cardiovascular, immune system, things like that are what we see that are very common with people. So no matter what your age is, for me personally, it was all about prevention, vitality, longevity. And we know with this technology, we have the ability to live well past 150 years old and yet look and feel like we're 25. I'll be 48 in a couple weeks. So it's definitely something that's made a big difference in my life and how I look and feel. But I already thought I looked and felt great, but it's definitely better than it was before. And like I said, of course, for my clients as well too, we're all seeing massive improvements in the quality of life, which is what the technology is about. So I personally will be at my appointment in about 10 minutes here. So I definitely want to be able to answer any questions that you have. If you want to type them in the chat, or if you want to unmute yourself, and then I'll have to hop off here at 3 o'clock. I'm sure you'll have more questions past that, which Dr. Mel and Lillian are very proficient in being able to help you. But if you have anything specifically you'd like to ask, I'm more than happy to answer in the next 10 minutes.
I'll ask really quick while you guys are thinking about your action. Dr. Staci, I've come across people who use stem cells injections. Can you explain the difference?
Yeah, I actually banked both my kids' cord blood 20 years ago. And I did over 10 years of different types of stem cell therapy with my daughter. And so this is very different in that it's not pulling out your own stem cells, spinning them and putting them back in at the age they are. It's obviously not donor cells, right, from either controversial or non-controversial sources. This is actually signaling your body to do exactly what it did when you were young. This upregulates a third of your genome, so resets a third of your genome back to their perfect expression. We know each gene is expressing to at least 1 or 2 other genes. And like I said, that compound effect is huge over time, being able to reset your entire genome to a young, youthful, healthy, perfect, divine state. And so your stem cell injections obviously are very costly. We've spent $100,000 out of pocket before we found this technology. And so they're very expensive. And there could be potential side effects. Obviously, there's about a 30% risk of cell division incorrectly. But of course, with your body, there's no risks at all. There are no contraindications to any medications or currently treatments or therapies, or there are no side effects because it's asking your body to do when it was younger. It produced an abundance of stem cells when you were young. That's why you were vibrant. You're full of energy. You slept like a baby. And of course, 5 years. We know that increasing your body's stem cells is fantastic, but also, like I said, resetting them to their young, youthful state. It's very different than stem cell injections or any type of other modality. Even I did 62 dives in hyperbaric oxygen chamber therapy with my daughter. Still very, very different in what it does, and the mechanism of this is working biophotonic exchange of information. So it's light communicating with light. And we are light. And so this technology, there's nothing like it on the planet. We have a 20-year patent on this patch, 2 years into that patent. And so the technology is fantastic. It's literally light years ahead of the
Lillian, please mute everyone that are not talking right now.
What other questions do you guys have?
What about detoxification? Do you get detox symptoms?
You know, the thing that I find with people is as long as you are drinking the required amount of water, which is half your body weight in ounces every day, right? If you're older, you need to drink a little bit more than that, of course, because your cells are dehydrated. We know that. If you're consuming alcohol or caffeine, obviously you're more dehydrated. As long as you're getting the amount of water, then no, you're not going to have any detox symptoms. What we experience, or people experience, not me, but what people do experience is maybe a little bit of fatigue or a little slight headache. And as soon as they incorporate that water that is required per their body, then that goes away immediately. But no, it's not a detox like I'm down, I'm out, I can't move, I can't function. Quite the opposite. You feel amazing. So it definitely helps your body to function better very, very quickly. That's a great question. And I know, Mel, there were some questions in the chat that I can't see because I'm driving. So can't read and drive at the same time.
Yeah. Lauren,
So, can you explain how the stem cells get regenerated?
Yeah, and so that happens by the technology, which is a crystal lattice structure, like Dr. Mel explained, and it's made up of a group of stereoisomers, amino acids, sugars, water, oxygen, salt, and that communicates with our body very specifically. Those very specific stereoisomers signal our body to increase its GHKCU, which of course declines as we age. And in turn, from there, again, because of the proprietary blend that's in this patch, it's upregulating a third of your genome. It's mobilizing, activating, and elevating your stem cell production. It does this actually through the skin. And so they're your stem cells. They've been dormant, and now they are mobilized again. They are activated, elevated, and reset to a young, youthful state. What other question, Dr. Mel?
Is there a way to affect a specific part of the body? Like if you put them on acupuncture points, does that change the effects?
Yeah, so all of our clinical studies have been done using the 2 points that Mel mentioned in the governing meridian behind the neck, CV7 or below the belly button. And we did that to have, you have to have a test, right? A control. And you can place that patch anywhere on the body, stick it on a specific location. No matter what, it's increasing stem cells systemically throughout your entire body. So you don't put it on your heart to affect your heart. You don't put it on your toe to affect your toe. It's going to work wherever your body needs it first. The stem cells, and obviously the body has its own innate ability to know how to heal itself. It's always seeking that homeostasis. And so increasing stem cells, they go to work wherever the body needs first. Yes, all of our clinical studies are rooted in TCM. Like Dr. Bell said, we have 12 patches, 20 years of clinical studies, 90 clinical studies done with people, independent doctors and labs across the globe. So you will find that different patches are utilized on different acupuncture points to affect different systems and organs to be able to get them into homeostasis in a faster way, right? So for example, Lillian, can you mute that person, please? For example, you may say, well, I need help with my endocrine system. Fantastic. Let's put SP6 on. SP6 works directly on the endocrine system. Now, will the stem cell activation patch improve your endocrine system functionality? Of course it will. Will it happen, today or in the next 7 days? I don't know. It depends on what else is going on in your body. But we can show from using the SP6 on the 3 different acupuncture points that will improve the functionality of that endocrine system by 87% in 7 days. So we use supportive patches in conjunction with the stem cell activation patch because, of course, that helps the body get back into homeostasis faster. So that's a great question.
Do you get more benefit by more patches?
It's not that you get more benefit by more patches, it's that you are impacting different systems in the body in a different way. And so again, stem cells, your body knows how to heal itself. We cannot direct where your body's stem cells will go first. We don't, this is not an injection that, oh, I'm putting these stem cells in my shoulder or in my knee. It doesn't work that way. This is systemically throughout the whole body. And so the body goes to work to repair itself. We have seen from the last 3 years that the people that just use the stem cell activation patches, it does take them sometimes longer. And I'm not saying this by clinical studies. I'm saying this by you know, the 3,000 recorded testimonials we have. When you use different patches in conjunction, you achieve faster results. For example, the Eon reduces inflammation systemically. We know that stem cells are drawn to inflammation. And so when you go and you increase your stem cell production, they want to go to areas that are inflamed. Well, we also know, this is science, right, that inflammation consumes some of those stem cells. You may inject 2 million if you did an injection and only end up with 200,000 because they're consumed by the inflammation. So if we reduce the inflammation at the same time that we're increasing stem cell production, we're set the body up for a very rapid healing, dramatic experience versus if we just did the stem cell, right? And then it depends on the person, right? This is very case by case. What's going on with you? I talked to a lady earlier, my hormones are out of balance. Okay, great. My joints hurt, my body hurts. Okay, here's what we're going to utilize. We're going to utilize the glutathione. It coats the joints. We know that. The X39, the Eon, we're going to reduce the inflammation that's happening in your body. We're going to use Alavita at night. We've seen the improvements in the endocrine system, the organs, and reducing oxidative stress and balancing hormones by using the Alavita patch at night. So we'll use the other 3 during the day. We'll use that one at night. We're going to do that for the next 90 days. We're going to reassess where you are with your hot flashes and your menopausal symptoms, right? And so we can use these different protocols. We have a book called Self-Healing with Light. I'm sure Dr. Mel has hers close by, or Lillian, they can show you, but it was written by an acupuncture physician. And so we work with these protocols to be able to use very specific points on the body, acupuncture points, and obviously affect those meridians with the different patches to achieve that homeostasis for the client, depending on what's going on with them. Can you just stick on an X39 stem cell activation patch and have benefits? Absolutely, 100% you can. How long is it going to take? Like Dr. Mel said, 1 month for every, 10 years you are old for your body to get up to that full stem cell regeneration point. Are you going to be completely, restored and rejuvenated and repaired in that time period? I don't know. I can't tell you that for sure. But I can tell you that the longer you use this technology, the more benefits that you gain. And we can see this through our test, right? Our energy test, our blood test, the different ways, the modalities that we can test ourselves, whether it's traditional or non, we can see the improvement in the functionality of the systems of the body and the brain, which is very important. But I have time for one more question, and then I have to go into my appointment. Dr. Mel will be able to answer the questions for you after that. Mel, do you have one that you want me to answer real quick?
Had it been FDA approved?
So we are FDA approved class 1 medical device, AKA Band-Aid. We are approved, it's a 3M hypoallergenic patch that we are using, but we are not an FDA approved medical device. We are in the wellness sector, but not approved as a medical device as far as insurance and all that goes.
I'm just going to show an example of some of the protocols that are shared for pain in different parts of the body. And this is our protocol book that Dr. Staci just alluded to earlier, called Self-Healing with Light. Dr. Staci, if you want to talk a little bit about some of the doctors who put this together over the last decade.
I would love to, but my dentist is not going to be very happy if I'm not in there in 1 minute, and I've got to get my teeth cleaned.
Well,
I have a wonderful holistic dentist, so he would not be happy if I'm late. But Dr. Mel can definitely explain anything else for you guys, and I look forward to, of course, answering any questions. If you don't know the answers or something, then Dr. Mel can write them down. We can put them in the chat, Lillian and Cindy, that we have, and I can address them when I am done with my pearly whites getting cleaned. So you guys have a fantastic day. Thank you for being
so
here.
much. Thank you, Dr.
Thank
We really appreciate it. Okay, bye.
Okay, perfect. Next question. Let's see. How were you able to measure the stem cell health and quality? How did you measure the speed to get back to homeostasis? So a lot of people already have known issues. They have their biomarkers, inflammatory biomarkers, everything. So after a while of using it, when you go back to your doctor, they can get that general lab done again. Or of course, I mean, if you have thyroid issues, you can get your T3, T4, RT4, all those done to see like where the levels are at. And then see, obviously, after using it, they are coming back to homeostasis, the normal range. If you have food sensitivities, you can get it done again, and you'll see the food items that you were sensitive to, you're no longer sensitive to. As far as like cardiovascular system, the general EKG, all those stuff that map the heart, if you have heart issues, after a while of using it, you can get those tests done again, and you'll see the entire cardiovascular system is becoming younger. So just a general test that your practitioner does use with you is enough to see how you're returning back to homeostasis by your levels improving. What other questions do we have? Okay, do you have any result on skin cancer? Yes, we do have a lot of testimonials that we can share with you, Catalina. And Sunday can forward you some recordings every night at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific. We have a patching podcast. So like 2 random people of our clients get on every night is someone new, and they talk about what they had, what they used, and now how they're feeling right now. But I will say for skin cancer, you will want to use X39, the stem cell patch, Eon for inflammation. We always want to use those 2 patches together because if there's any inflammation in the body, inflammation can go ahead and eat stem cells, and we don't want that. So anybody with my clients or doctors, anybody who gets on board, they always have to use those 2 together because I want them to get the maximum result. But I would also want you to use aloe vera. And aloe vera, what that does is it works on the telomeres. It lengthens the telomeres, and it also works with your skin. So those are amazing patches. Obviously, with glutathione, when it comes to cancer, the glutathione patch that we have, the regular IV or supplements, they have a 7.5 minute shelf life, and in that 7.5 minute, glutathione is a master antioxidant. It goes and repairs all systems and detoxes them. That's our main detoxer. So when you're facing anyone that has cancer, any clients that have cancer, you would want to give them glutathione so they can really detox their body out. Because with the patch, you actually increase your own body's glutathione level by 300%. And it gets sustained for 24 whole hours. So that's huge when it comes to detoxing. I just want you guys to understand, this is not like you're putting something in your body. You're just like the vitamin D, that's the usual example that I like to use. It hits our skin and then it signals our body to create more vitamin D, right? This is the exact same thing. You put this patch on, but in this case, you're the light, you're the sun. By basically having this patch on here, your body's light hits it and it reflects back a signal to signal different pathways and peptides. So it's just like the sun with the vitamin D production. Here, you're producing more of your own stem cells, more of your own carnosine antioxidant or glutathione master detoxer. Okay, let me see. What else do we have? Does it mean that there's no way to measure directly stem cell properties? I'm sure there is. I haven't measured the stem cells directly, but when you go to startx39.com, that gives you access to all of our clinical studies, and it shows you exactly what they use to measure the stem cells and how much it has been increased. So that's the website that I would like you guys to look into, startx39.com. Okay, what
We also want to address the
question?
issue, Dr. Mel, of X49, how it increases bone density, lean muscle mass, and it also protects against Wi-Fi, 5G, and any kind of radiation poisoning that people may have experienced from whether it's radiation therapy, chemotherapy, etc.
Yeah, absolutely. So X49 is part of that stem cell line. What that does is that it signals a daughter peptide called AHKCU. And what that does is that basically it helps with endurance, performance, creating that lean body muscle mass. It really helps you to create more muscles and more bone density, increasing the bone density, as Lillian said. It does protect you from 5G and any type of EMF. So put that patch on and go about your day and you'll be safe. And this is not like we're just blurting it out. Like actually, if you get that EMF devices on with you, you can see like literally your exposure to EMF becomes less that your body is getting. So that's the beautiful patch that I love to use all the time. Every 2 months of using it, according to clinical studies, you get an 11% of body fat reduction. So that's very handy for some people, but it's mostly used with athletes. But obviously with the EMF protection and the fact that it really helps you to grow your hair really long, I mean, everybody likes that patch, who doesn't? As far as aloe vera, so it's ALAVIDA. Yeah, telomere. So we have a patch called carnosine. Carnosine protects the telomeres of our DNA, but aloe vera lengthens the telomere. So I don't know if you guys are familiar with telomeres, but telomeres are the endings of our DNA, like little socks at the end of our DNA. The X, it has the little socks. And the shorter they become, that's how we eventually die. Like they become so short and then we die. So by aloe vera lengthening the telomere, you're essentially lengthening your whole life. So like aloe vera with X39 is the perfect combo to never age again and to live for a very, very long time, because you're lengthening it and then you're giving stem cells to repair your systems constantly. But the carnosine is the one that protects and coats the telomeres. So the carnosine coats it, aloe vera lengthens it. There's just a subtle difference. Carnosine is a major antioxidant that likes to hang out in the heart and the brain. So anybody that has any type of heart issues or brain issues or anything of any sort, carnosine would be perfect for them.
Do we have any other questions from anyone here on the call?
No, not at the moment.
Okay, so as you can probably become aware as you're hearing doctors, both Staci and Dr. Mel talk about these different stem cell patches, we do have several stem cell patches. There's an incredible amount of power that you unleash in the body when you're able to dovetail and use several of the patches at a time. So just for demonstration sakes, I'm going to show you what my stem cell patches, because I wear about 7 or 8 stem cell patches a day. You can see that I have this on GV14, which is where your brainstem actually branches out into your spinal column, which is what signals your autonomic nervous system. So you can see that I have 3 or 4 patches in a row, and I also have patches that are below my belly button. And if you have any questions about the placement of where the patches go or what's the optimal place for you, you know, you can get in contact with Sunday or with myself, and we can help you, as well as Dr. Mel and Dr. Staci, in terms of figuring that out. Does anybody else, it says, is there a paper on website about aloe vera effect on telomeres? Yes. If you go to that startx39.com, you will see not only a lot of different testimonials, but some of the science papers and the research papers are there. And if you go to...
There is also a PDF. There's some more information. Sunday can get it for you guys. We have a app called LifeWave in Touch. So there's more PDF papers and information on aloe vera we can send. And I believe there is a website for aloe vera specifically. I don't have it, Lillian. If you want to get it from April and send it to them, that one goes very much in depth into aloe vera only. So yeah, we can send it to you.
Yeah, Lauren wants to know all that. He's really into telomeres and extending. He's also part of the Dr. Joe Dispenza kind of group. So,
Oh.
so thank you.
Dr. Staci, the way she found out about the patches was after she came out from Dr. Joe's intensive workshop that he had last year. And when she got out, this guy from Dr. Joe's event asked her to do a yoga retreat of some sort so he can video her for some of the students that they had about yoga. And then he was the guy when she went to his clinic. He was selling the stem cell patches. So it was like right after Dr. Joe, there's this guy selling stem cell patches, and that's exactly what she has been looking for. Like she has flown across the globe looking for stem cells for her daughter who was misdiagnosed with cancer and who stayed in the hospital for a whole year and all that. But yeah, so that was like it's amazing, and we're all very much in tune and aligned with everything. Okay, let's see.
If I might address while you're looking at the next question, Dr. Mel, we actually have, some of us have a device that we actually can measure a person right before we actually will see all the organs and organ systems in the body. And Dr. Joe also uses this particular machine. It's called the BioWell. And we can actually see before we place the patch what the condition of the body is. And just 30 seconds to a minute after placing an X39, let alone an X39, 49, and some of the other patches, just the X39 alone, you will see a dramatic increase in the energy in the body just from the X39 patch, let alone others. And we can create a 24-page report that actually indicates that. So we know, because we've measured it, we can actually see it in the scanning of the human body.
Yeah.
The stem cell patches, yeah.
I the BioWell too. It's amazing bioresonance device to see what's happening.
Mm-hmm. That is remarkable.
Yeah.
Any questions?
Yeah. You guys? Okay, perfect. So if you guys have more questions, go ahead and send it to Sandy and Lillian, and we are all in touch. We work together, so we would be happy to help you all. And yeah, it was great meeting you all, and I hope you all have a great day.
All right, thank you so much, Dr. Mel, for coming on. And thank you all of you for being here. Thank you, Lillian, for taking the time. She's traveling. She's not even in California right now. So I thank you all for being here. And I know there's more questions, but we'll answer them with their help. So,
All right.
Thank you.
all
Thank you.
right, thank you, Dr. Yanda. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you very much,
Bye-bye.
doctors. Thank you, Sandy. See you
Okay.
then. Okay,
Bye-bye.
bye.